Hi, welcome everybody. My name is Megan Lewis, Director of Programs with Cape Fear Collective. We may just give people one more minute to join and then we'll get started. We do ask that everyone actually turn off their cameras and keep themselves muted. For our business providers and squad members, you will be directed by your moderator when to turn on your cameras. And for our audience members, please do remain off camera and muted for the duration of the program. So that we can see all of our squad members as they present. Thank you, and we'll just get started in just a second. All right, thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Some folks might join us as we get started, but do want to be sensitive to everyone's time. So welcome again. My name is Megan Lewis, Director of Programs with Cape Fear Collective, and also a District C certified coach. I'm joined on screen by Kevin Maurer, my co-coach and colleague at Cape Fear Collective. We're excited to be here today and present this, District C Cape Fear, our first cohort of students and their pitch this afternoon. So just a couple of housekeeping items. Again, please remain off camera and muted. For our squad members and business providers, you will be directed to turn on your cameras and unmute at the appropriate time. For those of you that don't know, District C Cape Fear is the first regional partnership of District C, a triangle-based nonprofit. Like District C Cape Fear's purpose is to prepare the next generation of talent for modern work in Southeastern North Carolina. We do this by facilitating real-world learning experiences, like the one you're going to see today, with diverse teams of students solving real-world problems for real businesses, all with the support of, it says here, expert coaching, but certainly this was Kevin and I's first time. I hope we did the job well. Earlier this summer, in partnership with New Hanover County Schools, we trained 15 educators, administrators, and community leaders in this work. Special thanks to Shanika Shuford and the Career and Technical Education Department at New Hanover County Schools for prioritizing this type of professional development for their teachers. Soon, they will go on to implement this model for their students within their schools and organizations. Today, we're really excited to be showcasing the first cohort of New Hanover County School students to experience the District C model. These students were recruited with the help of principals, educators, and our locally trained coaches. Over the course of this week, 13 exceptional students from 6 different high schools have teamed up to solve real problems for CFPUA and Live Oak Bank. Today, you have the opportunity to see these teams propose their solutions to their business partners. And we thank CFPUA and Live Oak Bank for their partnership. So the run of show, there's going to be 2 rooms running simultaneously on Zoom. This main room will hold the Live Oak Bank squads, which is squad 1 and 2. And the breakout room will hold CFPUA, which is squads 3 and 4. The main room here will be moderated by Dan Gonzalez, District C co-founder, and the CFPUA room moderated by Kat Jackson, Business Engagement with District C. Now it's time to select what squads or business problems you would like to see. So pay attention and bear with me. Here's how we're going to do this. So you'll want to hover over your Zoom window and click the participants icon at the bottom of your screen, and it should appear to the right. At the bottom of the participant list, you'll see a series of icons. Find the More icon with 3 dots and click on that button. If you'd like to watch the Live Oak Bank pitches, select the thumbs up icon. If you'd like to watch the CFPUA pitches, select the hand clap icon. And that's all you have to do. Dan on his end will coordinate sending you to the CFPUA rooms if you chose the hand clap, or those that chose the thumbs up will stay here for the Live Oak Bank presentations. And with that, I think we're going to get started here shortly. Dan, thank you for assigning those rooms. I'm now going to quickly introduce Kevin, again, my co-coach and colleague at Cape Fear Collective, to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. Kevin.
Thanks, Megan. My name is Kevin Maurer. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for the Cape Fear Collective. And I got the pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today. Laura Brogdon Primavera is the Manager of Programs and Operations at CIE. She received her bachelor's degree in Hospitality and Tourism Management from Appalachian State and has a Master's of Education in Higher Ed from UNCW, which she received in 2015. She's the co-founder of the Kugelhorst Connect Conference and serves on the Connect Executive Board, as well as the Secretary of the Kugelhorst Foundation. She also co-founded the Small Business Coalition with the CIE Director, Diane Durrance, and is the founder of the CIE Hawk Media Team. Also, Laura is also one of the, she's on her way to becoming a certified District C coach as well. Laura, the mic is all yours. Take it away.
You got me? Hear me? Good.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. Well, that was nice. I didn't know I was getting an intro. Appreciate that. So again, my name is Laura. I am the Manager of Programs and Operations at the University of North Carolina Wilmington Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I am in the process of getting certified as a facilitator, so I can help more students like you in the coastal Southeast region experience what you have experienced this week. I went through a week-long experience just like you did back in June, so I understand all the feels you're having right now in this very moment, and I can relate to what you've gone through this week. You should be proud of yourselves already and the accomplishments you've already achieved before you even present to your clients. So kudos to you all. We've spent some time recently working on revisions to our strategic plan at the CIE. When you're working on our strategic plan for any business or organization, it's not something that should just be made and put in a binder and collect dust on a shelf. It should be referenced and reflected on and revised on an ongoing basis. And what better time to think about that than in times of a pandemic, right? Without knowing it at the time, we used our questioning tool, built agendas for meetings, took 5 with our partners and stakeholders, did some serious solo flight, made mind maps, and have landed on this as our mission statement. Our mission is to connect, leverage, and ignite regional strengths and university expertise to create innovative and entrepreneurial solutions to global challenges in human health, education, and coastal marine environments. When you think about connecting university strengths and community assets here at UNCW and in our region, what comes to mind for many is marine science, education, fintech, health and IT tech, and you also think about social and environmental impact ventures in the region as well. So yeah, now I hope you're all thinking what I'm thinking. And what now? What do we do with that? How do we do it? What's next? And I say we because it truly is we. We need a diverse group of people to solve this complex problem that literally is our business. We need partners like Cape Fear Collective, our fintech hub experts like Live Oak Bank, our university expertise in coastal and marine sciences, and young minds like yours to tackle this head on and bring a variety of perspectives to the table. No robot can do that for us, right? So that's why the work of District C is so important. And that's why the work of Cape Fear Collective is so important. And that's why what we do at the CIE is so important. And that's why you going through this experience is so important. I can't wait to hear your pitches, and I truly can't wait to engage with you all through our youth entrepreneurship program experience at the CIE this academic year. I'll send you more details on that later this month. For now, let's turn all of our eyes and ears to you and your incredible work this week.
Thanks, Laura, for the great intro and for actually putting a little of your own personal experience with this work. I liked your use of the tools and calling out some of those tools, which have become, I think, very important to not only the students, but to those of us who have gone through this process. Okay. You also know that CIE was a host partner today. When we first envisioned doing this work, we were going to do it in person at CIE, but because of the pandemic, we moved virtual. I think Megan and I will both admit we were a little disappointed. We really wanted to do this live and with the students, but I think we learned some valuable technical lessons, and we really did have a seamless virtual District C coaching experience. I have to do it again, though, I think in person, just because it is really an amazing experience. So for those of you that are interested in getting into coaching, please reach out to us because we'd love to have you on board. Okay, quick reminder on some logistics. If you're in the audience, please turn off your cameras and mute your microphones, okay? We want our business providers and we want our squads to have, undivided attention. It's really their meeting. We're just watching. We recommend using gallery view. That gives you the best chance to see everybody as they pitch. You can adjust how much of the presentation you want to view because there will be slides, and you could do that, basically using your own screen, compressing what you need to compress. But again, I think you'll get the most using gallery view as you do that. Make sure you've selected where you want to go, and Dan will go ahead and start moving us into the room. Squads, good luck. I think you guys are going to do great, and here we go.
All right, welcome everyone. My name is Dan Gonzalez. I'm going to be the moderator for this Live Oak Bank pitch room. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have two teams of students, each doing a pitch for members of the Live Oak Bank team. And each pitch is going to be comprised of 10 minutes of presentation, followed by 10 minutes of Q&A with the business partner. So think of this less as Shark Tank style and more like a workshopping of the student proposals with members of the business team. So we will get started on that in a second. What I would like to do first is to invite Courtney and if Micah is in the room as well. Yeah, Courtney and Micah, if you could jump on camera, would love to have you introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about Live Oak Bank, and perhaps a little bit about the real and urgent problem that you put in front of these student teams this week.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Courtney Spencer, and I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for Live Oak. And as I explained to the student groups earlier in the week, I've got a lot of teams under me that I'm responsible for that have a lot to do with the employee experience. And one of those is the talent team. And I'm focusing on that because it's within that talent team that we have the expertise and our resources that have the vital relationship with our healthcare providers that help us shape and craft the healthcare benefits that we offer our employees of Live Oak. You'll see as they present a little bit and as we talk through this morning, it's really important at core to Live Oak's culture that we put our employees first. And so that really was the impetus behind the problem statement that we suggested, and we were grateful to have District C select for your work this week. And I don't really want to say too much more about it because I don't want to steal anybody's thunder as far as the presentations go. But That's who I am, and I'm really grateful and just have enjoyed the experience this week.
Yeah, thanks, Courtney. This is Micah Davis. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Live Oak Bank. And I'll reiterate a little bit of what Courtney said because, as a brand, a company, part of who we are and how we do business stems from how we treat our employees. And we feel that, and we have, data that supports this, that if our employees are well cared for, then they will take really good care of our customers, which will lead to returns for our shareholders. So this model that we've had has been in place since inception. And so as a marketer and as, part of my responsibility to be responsible for the brand, I want to ensure that we can maintain this strong culture that we have, because it leads to, fantastic business results for us and for many others. So very excited to see the pitches, and I'll agree with Courtney. It's been a great experience so far.
Great. Thank you, Micah and Courtney. I'll tell you what, this is, working with the students is such a fun part of this work, but getting to know business leaders like Micah and Courtney, just as an example in this case, the fact that they're willing to put their time into this effort, that they are really listening to these students and really trying to consider whether these proposals can be something that they put into play at Live Oak Bank. It's a really exciting interaction that we're about to see. So thank you both so much. I would like to invite Squad 1 to go ahead and turn your cameras on. Courtney and Micah, you can stay on camera, please. Squad 1, if you could turn your cameras on, unmute your microphones, and introduce yourselves, and then get started on your presentation.
Hi, how are y'all doing today? Oh, they're muted. So I'll just go ahead and get this started. Hi, I'm Elle, and thank you for coming today and hearing our pitch. We're very excited to be here for y'all today. We are Squad 1 of District C, and I'll let the rest of my team members introduce themselves.
Hey, I'm Luke Danielson. I go to Laney.
I'm Leah Harris. I go to Wilmington Early College.
I'm Noriega Varder. I go to Mosley.
Okay, let's get started.
So finding the solution to helping out these employees was difficult. Live Oak already has one of the best set of employee benefits, with everything from on-site clinics to fully fledged gyms and restaurants. Through talking with various people, we got to see several perspectives from within the company, and eventually we were able to find a missing piece. Live Oak Bank covers almost all areas of physical health, but lacks in mental health. We decided to find a solution that tackles mental health support while being cost effective and keeping the pandemic in mind.
While Live Oakers are not at risk of losing their jobs because of your promise to not lay anyone off, their clients, who are primarily small business owners, surely are stressed about where they stand. And with the amount of PPP loans that your company has been giving out over the past few months, your employees' workload has surely increased. This tense situation can lead to a build of stress in your employees and worsen any possible mental problems they may already have. This can lead to lowered energy and less motivation to work and to do a good job for their clients. Stress and poor mental health can also lead to increased sickness, leaving them taking more days off. And it can lead to lowered energy and less motivation to do work and a good job for their clients. It can also leave them feeling more agitated and overwhelmed, which is a less than ideal state for interacting with clients who are also in a stressful situation. It can also make you more forgetful and disorganized and weaken your ability to correctly judge situations.
This is a screenshot taken from Talkspace that is based on data from the National Institute of Mental Health, Harvard Publishing, Harvard Medical School, Bustle, and the Anxiety of Depression Association of America. There are currently 625 full-time employees on your health benefits program. According to the data, about 125 of your employees are experiencing some form of mental health challenge, and about 156 of them are not telling you that they are struggling. About 3,375 days are lost every year due to employee depression, and $793,105 are wasted yearly due to decreased employee productivity. These numbers are staggering, but there is a way to decrease these numbers.
Our solution is to provide more mental health services for Live Oakers. This is a 3-part plan. The first part of our plan is to use Zoom and telephone stress counseling. Stress counseling through Zoom and telephone would allow Live Oakers to take action to improve their mental health without risking exposure to COVID-19. In addition, the counseling services would be accessed from anywhere, allowing employees to talk in the space where they are most comfortable. This service would function similarly to your on-site clinic, except virtually.
The second part of our plan is to use a text hotline for stress counseling. A resource like stress counseling completely done through text could be extremely beneficial to Live Oakers. It could be completely anonymous and would be great for people who feel more comfortable chatting over text than they would on a phone or through a Zoom call. There are many ways this could be done. It could be a more traditional hotline where a user just texts the number and they can talk to someone anonymously, immediately with little wait time. Or the user can use a service and set up an appointment with an actual therapist and have their whole appointment done through direct messaging.
Crisis Text Line is a nonprofit organization that has free texting with T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, and AT&T. The 2 mobile hotline examples we have are Crisis Text Line and Talkspace. Crisis Text Line is a free, not-for-profit, confidential, anonymous, but less professional. Talkspace has a paid service and has insured coverage.
Third part of our plan is to have an on-site counselor. Part 3 is introducing professional counselors that offer their service on-site and Live Oakers wouldn't have to leave campus. These specialists will be free for employees and will provide the same or better care than online counselors, especially for people who work better face-to-face. This would function similarly to how your clinic on campus functions. Of course, this will be implemented later as a final part because of the recent issues with the pandemic. Once it's safe to do so, they can stay on site.
All of these steps would be preceded by an extensive mental health care campaign by Live Oak. You could do multiple announcements and posts through Treehouse expressing how you will stand by your employees and that you care about not just their physical health, but their mental health as well. Someone could even create a video announcing the new mental health services that Live Oak Bank is providing for its employees, expressing your sincere concern for your employees' mental health and that you are willing to take care of them. It should be made clear throughout these announcements that your employees are not putting their jobs at risk when seeking help, and that these services will be entirely confidential. It also might be beneficial to have someone well-known in a leadership position share a story about their struggles with mental health to encourage employees to be honest and to seek out help as well.
So this is a chart we made that lays out the different steps for the mental health campaign. So the first step would be assemble a small team comprised of 3 to 4 people from the marketing team to run and create the campaign. The second step would begin working towards launch day. That would include writing announcements for Treehouse and Yammer and writing scripts for videos and filming and editing them. The third step would be a final review of all the work that had been done by the team and any final critiques before launch day. The fourth step is the first announcement, which would drop on Treehouse and Yammer, and it would just be a statement solidifying Live Oak's dedication to their employees' mental health. And the fifth step, a second announcement will drop a few days later, and it would also be on the same day that the mental health services are implemented. And it would just be a video explaining Live Oakers' new mental health services.
According to Brooke Lewis, therapy can cause a reduction in migraines, a reduction in digestive troubles, improved sleep, or improved appetite. The lessening of these physical symptoms in employees will lead to more focus on their work and boosting the quality of it as well, and can also help people develop a foster passion or productivity balance in their lives. According to Chris Boyd, it will renew passions to work hard and provide the very best for their clients in a more efficient way, because a happy employee is a happy customer.
Now let's go over how much all of this is going to cost. Of course, all of these services would be completely free for Live Oakers. They will pay nothing out of pocket. The Zoom and teletherapy calls could possibly be covered by an insurance plan, as they would be like regular sessions, and those are covered by insurance. The text hotline has the potential to be entirely free if you utilize one that has already been created, like the crisis text line. We are unsure of the price for using Talkspace, as we cannot get access to the rates, and we do not have access to your specific health insurance plan. Live Oakers would probably have reduced rates, and the company could register as a business and provide that service for all of its employees. For an on-site stress counselor, that might also be covered by your insurance, but if not, it would just be another person on your payroll. And with your intention to continue expanding, we think that would be very beneficial in the future. And with the mental health campaign, it will be done within the company's marketing team, which should already have all it needs for implementation.
By providing these mental health services to employees, you will see a return. With improved employee mental health, your employees will take less days off from work and they will be at their best. Being a company that mainly works with small businesses, there's surely a more personal relationship between your employees and their clients. So you want your employees to be on their best mental state when interacting with them. A cheerful, welcoming employee makes a better experience for a client, making them want to continue working with Live Oak Bank far into the future. These changes might also serve to bring more people wanting to work with Live Oak Bank because of the health benefits that encompasses everything. From physical health to mental health, and clients would use your business because of how well you treat your employees.
That's all. Thank you to Courtney, Micah, Kate, and Cav for giving us unique perspectives and information from inside the company. And thanks to Megan, Kevin, and Dan for bringing us on, running the program, and giving us feedback during this.
Fantastic. Micah and Courtney, you now have 10 minutes to dive into this stuff, ask questions, dive deeper, etc.
Dan, would it be okay if we invite Kate Collins to join in this portion as well? She was a big contributor.
Yep.
Great.
Absolutely.
Before Courtney jumps in, because I would like Courtney to talk a little bit about the content, I just to say hats off in your presentation. I see presentations all the time, and that it was superb. Very well done.
I completely echo Micah's sentiment around the presentation. I mean, it was incredible. It was very well thought out. I was most appreciative that you just didn't read your PowerPoint slides to me. You'd be amazed, even folks that have been in, professionals for decades, that's still their kind of go-to in a presentation mode. So it was very easy for me to pay really close attention to what you were saying and the added context of your comments, in addition to the really thoughtful text and the slides themselves. So that was great. I'm amazed in a week's time, really less than that since you started Monday morning, that you've made such an astute observation, not only about the importance of mental and emotional health kind of in society today, but also where we might have a miss here at Live Oak in terms of how well built out or how unwell built out that service is for our folks right now. So I mean, that was really amazing. I've got some questions, but I want to give Kate an opportunity if she has any initial observations before we dig into Q&A.
You all did such a wonderful job. I echo all of Micah and Courtney's sentiments. It's been fun getting to know each of you. And the biggest question I have for you all is, in your research, did you find any information about the stigma of bringing on campus mental health counselors and utilization? So did you find any information out there that would provide us an opportunity to educate before bringing that service on campus, just to make sure that our employees would feel comfortable utilizing that service on campus?
We didn't really find any information on that specifically, but I feel like part of our solutions would help lessen that stigma in the workplace. like with the mental health campaign, one of the things that you could do is actually last bullet, it says a person in a leadership position could share personal experience with mental health issues to just like show employees that it's not just them, and to assure them that they will be like they'll be safe to seek help for their mental health. And also with the text hotline, that would also, at least with the crisis text line, that would be completely anonymous, and and employees would probably feel like safer using that as well.
Also, if you guys, we don't know if you guys noticed or not, but originally we were using the word therapist and we changed all of the therapist words to counselor because we thought it might come on a little lighter than the word therapist.
Great thought. I've got a question along the same vein that Kate's question around the crisis text line and talk space. First of all, I really appreciated the fact that your pitch today included like various alternatives for us to consider, and that you'd actually taken the time to actually do some research to bring to us to instead of just throwing out a name, kind of giving us some ideas as to what they offer and what you've been able to find through your research. And I'm just curious, did that research indicate anything to you that would make you, as a potential user of the service, feel like either the text hotline or crisis text versus Talkspace would be a better or more better user experience, or you'd feel more comfortable going one way or the other?
I was actually the person who found like the Talkspace website, and I was like really, really impressed by what I saw there. I think like they have like a business option where like a company can like partner with them or whatever to like have their services for their employees. Mm-hmm. And that's actually where we got like that graph or statistic that we used early on. And I think personally, like, I think I would have made use of that service if I had known it existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I prefer the crisis text line over Talkspace, but it is a good alternative because it's 24-hour service. You get matched within like 5 minutes. The only thing about it though is that they're trained volunteers, but they're not necessarily professionals. And also, if you're not under Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, or T-Mobile, I think, then you have to pay your standard messaging rates. But I think it's a really good service.
Definitely. You could certainly see like where one or both of those could be sort of like an immediate triage, like if somebody's in a crisis moment, right? That quick access could really feel a need, maybe different and apart for someone that's just looking for kind of ongoing maintenance and an ongoing relationship with someone, like that would be maybe addressed through like the counselor on site suggestion that you had in your pitch. Interesting.
So I will, again, there was so many super strong aspects to your guys' proposal. Again, the multifaceted approach, looking at multiple options to consider. I'm curious, coming from the marketing side, you had noted that the marketing team could handle the kind of the promotion and the launch of the campaign, build out the assets. How would you guys go about, just curious to hear your thoughts on this. How would you go about building out, the scripts and the content? Like, what would you think would be the right way to go about doing that?
I think you would need to like heavily stress that you would need, like you said, you had like your community is like a family. You would need to really stress that everyone there is safe, and that it would be a safe option to seek out help, and that they would not be putting their jobs at risk for like seeking out help and stuff. But I think just going about that, it would just be like, it wouldn't be like an extensive announcement. It'd just be like through like Yammer or Treehouse, and you just like assure employees that you're there for them and that their jobs are protected.
I would also recommend, because mental health is kind of a it can be a touchy topic. I would also recommend that you use some people in your marketing team to like read over whatever your announcement may be, because I know that some words can come off the wrong way to some people if you don't check over it.
Great. I have one question for, I guess, Noriega, this was your slide. You were talking about the number of employees that we have at Live Oak at 625, and the estimate is, 125 or so are having, issues or struggles or whatever it may be and could use some services like this. As you guys are doing that research, did you find other, I guess, things that companies had done to address similar kinds of things, knowing that that's a pretty large number? It's larger than what I would have guessed. I was kind of surprised by that. Not questioning your data, just curious kind of what you guys found as other companies might be looking at similar kinds of things and how they're addressing it. Curious what you learned there.
I didn't find anything, but Elle or Leah might have found something.
I personally did not research that, so I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, that statistic, I don't think we didn't really have the time to go look into, really dig deep into other statistics. We're sorry about that, but I don't really,
Yeah, this is more from the company that's selling their therapy, so there wasn't really too much information on the site itself. It's kind of just partner with us because this can be helpful based on this data.
Well, and the data is very interesting. I think it's, you guys did a ton in a short period of time. So this is not it's not really a critique. I just was curious. Right. The problem seems pretty large. So I was wondering if maybe you encountered other firms, companies, entities that are trying to address similar types of issues through your, some of the proposals you guys have laid out.
No, I think we gotta say we don't know on this one.
Just
okay.
One more quick comment,
yeah,
if I
go ahead.
Sorry, it was just in case you haven't gleaned it from the conversations or from the comments that Kate and Mike and I've shared already. You guys really did put together something that's actionable advice for us, and we can definitely take this and build off your research to address some of the where Micah was just going with his question. But I mean, you nailed it. It's 100% relevant to Live Oak today. So thank you.
All right, congrats, Squad 1. Really exceptional job. Great work. All right, Squad 1, we'll ask you to turn off your cameras and microphones, and we'll make a transition to Squad 2 at this point. And Live Oak team, you can stay on camera. And Squad 2, feel free to jump on. And you can introduce yourselves and get started whenever you're ready. I think you are muted, Sawyer.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to figure out where it was. Okay, well, hello, I'm Sawyer, and Anina's in the other box.
Hey, y'all.
And we are excited to present to you our solution that you have presented us with the problem. And I think we just get started. So what the problem Live Oak presented us with, they came at us saying they want to get more involved in their employees' well-being and health. And as we went and continued to research and interview, we saw that Live Oak has already provided a lot of institutions or resources for its employees to use through the Fit Park, the on-site gym, the Grove, the cafeteria, and the medical center. But as we continue to research, we saw that employees are underutilizing these facilities. And so our solution is we're trying to increase these utilization of these facilities.
A quote we used to inspire us going forward after the initial interview we had was actually from Micah Davis: "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." So if you can spend more time helping these people, guide them to preventing any sort of health crises, it's actually worth it in the end. We collected a lot of information and data over the past week. First, we had a foundation interview with Courtney and Micah, helped us give us an idea of what Live Oak Bank was all about in terms of their ethics and what they were trying to promote. We had a secondary interview with the healthcare head at Live Oak, Kate Collins, as well. She helped lead us in the direction and establish what Live Oak Bank could actually do to improve things in the future.
So the prototype we have presented today is an incentive program. So, slides were switched. You do your slide again, Anita.
Yeah, so sorry about that. But we also received graphs and data from the Fit Park and on-site clinic. This is what you're looking at right here. Fit Park on the left, clinic on the right. It just establishes that there can be more utilization going on of these facilities that are already present in the company. We also had follow-up questions clarifying a few things about employee utilization of Live Oak facilities from both Courtney and Kate Collins. With this information we gathered, we were able to collectively come up with a possible solution for this problem.
All right, we come up with incentive program. Through this incentive program, we're hoping to increase the use of all of these facilities Live Oak has presented and increase the general health and well-being of employees while also preventing future complications in the long run for its employees, reducing healthcare costs for Live Oak. We also want to energize these workers into getting more excited about doing exercise and working with their health more than they are now.
So what you're looking at here is a prototype of like a sample email you can send to employees. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because as you can see, it's very lengthy. But basically, you start off with like getting people excited, just like we're happy to introduce this new program for you all, keeping it positive as this is what you're trying to move forward with. We also provided in the second or third paragraph an idea that you can use to kick off something small, like attend an information session, and 2 people can be entered into a raffle to win or anything like that. Why? Why this? Why not that? That's probably a question you all are thinking about right now. As you can see, there's quite a few reasons, but one is continuous program. This doesn't have to change. It's not like this will last a certain amount of time and then get cut off. With all the new things coming into the company, you don't have to stop it. Like we said, increase the underutilization of perks that you already offer within your own company. And it's also easy to understand. Like most people get the idea that, okay, if I do this for myself, I can receive something in return, or I can possibly receive something in return. Like I was saying, positive reinforcement is just a basic psychology term. If you reward behavior, it is more likely to be done, which in the long run is in the employer's best interest because you are encouraging productivity and motivation within your workers, or Live Oakers, as I should say.
So these incentives can either be competition-based or goal-based. So if we're going down the competition route, it would be an individual or a department would try and be the top department or individual in a certain period of time. And so if we were looking at the pros of individuals, it would help push individuals harder to work out more or attend the clinics, eat healthier, and reach as the same level as their peers. And if we're looking departmentally, we're hoping to bond or create more bonds and a tighter camaraderie. Like if Susie's going to the gym, she'll bring her friend with her, and then everyone will be happy. And the other option is goals, right? And these goals will still relate to the competition, but goals, everyone can reach this goal, everyone can do it, and so that it still utilize these facilities more and be less competition or division between the two. So possible goals that we have come up with. So if we wanted to go more goal route, it'd be like weight loss. Someone loses or reaches their certain weight goal, or working out and exercising at the Fit Park. But more of a goal-based solution would be like flu shot week, where everyone goes to the health clinic and they get their flu shot, and 2 people are entered, or everyone who's get a flu shot entered into a raffle to win some sort of reward. And then what we're looking at in other goals is we want to encourage use of new programs added in the future. So if there's a new stress reducing course, there can be an incentive to go and take part of this. And what we're looking is to continually take advantage of the programs that Live Oak Bank provides.
like Sawyer was saying, incentives are rewards based around accomplishments achieved. These incentives could be based on how large of an accomplishment an employee achieves. When an employee achieves a goal and wins or receives some sort of reward, the incentive will motivate the employee to continue on their health and well-being journey going into the future. Few things just to look at. Incentives should change yearly in order to keep the attention of the employees. You don't want them to get accustomed to certain things, especially because over time that can dwindle down enthusiasm. People are like, you know, I've already won this. I don't really care anymore. And it's just gonna put a dampen in what the goal of this program would be. It also should always be tied to education. That was also one thing Live Oak presented to us. They're like, we want our employees to know we care about them a lot. And we want them to stay healthy and learn more about their health so that they can help be more positive in the workplace. That will lead to customers and others having a great experience with them.
So after our discussion or interview with Courtney yesterday, she said that they've thought of the idea of an incentive solution, but put it on the back burner because it would be hard to implement. So through the employee committee, which we will review in the next slide, we're hoping that it's going to take the weight off of these, the executives and managers, and put it onto like Chris, the gym leader, and employees to create a diverse field of opinions and decide what the employees want to do. So moving into the employee-based committee, employees would be able to control incentives, and they could control the goals. They could ultimately decide what they want to do and how they want to do it, or how they want to reach their goal. Other ways to implement this is if Live Oak would give 2 hours off on company time, to where it would create more of a break program. And right, these breaks, they're going to be to where if someone's hit a roadblock in their work or something like that, and they're getting tired of it, they can go and run on the treadmill, or they can go and work towards these incentives to where there'll be another incentive. So if employees didn't win the goal, they still got to get 2 hours off of their work and really work harder and exercise. And then when they come back, it's actually been proven to increase productivity by using 2 hours of time off. And that's weekly, it's not daily. And so third way to implement would be through a punch card, right? At the Starfish Cafe, or the healthy food section, right, we talked to Kate and we learned that it was underutilized. So we're getting employees to do 10 purchases of the Starfish Cafe, they'd get a free one on their next purchase, or 50% off. But it would motivate these employees to eat healthier and be better in all fields of health.
How incentives would lower the cost of healthcare over time? I know you're probably thinking like, this costs way too much money. We already spend too much on. We'll spend a lot of money on healthcare, and we don't want to increase our costs because it can be detrimental to the company overall in a certain amount of time. So actually providing a proactive wellness initiative can help prevent the complications, because you're rewarding someone for taking great care of their health. So hopefully that will lead to them in the future, instead of having severe health illnesses that will require them to be out of work, to not be motivated or anything. It will actually help them so in the future. The cost of implementing an incentive program, it honestly really just depends on what you want. We highly recommend not implementing any monetary rewards, as that can just muddle the purpose of this program. If someone's working towards like a Christmas bonus of like $1,000, people will be caring more about the money than their actual health. It won't really be as positive. People will get, money's a little touchy subject. People don't like to talk about that type of stuff. So trying to keep it positive and working to well-being. Our recommendation would just be a smaller prize should be given to a departmental goal, or a larger prize will be given to an individual. These are just some ideas laid out here. You can see they range a little bit in price, but these aren't like every day you have to give this, or like 10 people are winning certain things. It's like one person wins a coffee gift card, $10. Movie tickets for 2, like date night, $22. You can get a free trial to a program at the Fit Park, which we wouldn't probably know how much that exactly costs us, but or have something more personalized, like a plaque you can hang up in your office to show your coworkers, $30 to $40. I mean, on the extreme end, you can, for a big goal or whatever, once a year you can want a bike and that costs $200 to $500, as long as you're not going crazy like Lance Armstrong, you know, competitive bikers don't want to do that. But you don't have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on additional perks for your employees. Based on the information and data we've received over the past few days in our own personal research, we believe that Live Oak could actually benefit from an incentive program to help promote wellness, fitness, peace of mind without pushing it onto their Live Oakers in a less personalized way. Do you guys have any questions?
So thank you guys. I want to leave with just an observation and a question, or then a question. And the observation is similar to Squad 1, the amount of effort and work and research and thought that's gone into this pitch is really remarkable. And then when I step back and look at the two of you, for the most, bore the brunt of it for the better part of the week, it really is amazing. And not understanding the dynamic of how you went from a bigger group to a smaller group, and that's kind of immaterial, but just the fact that whatever that dynamic is, that you used it sounds like, to just bolster your ambition to tackle this and achieve something, as opposed to letting it be kind of a detriment to the week and kind of drag you down, is really admirable. So thank you so much for sticking with it and presenting today. Your idea is awesome. And I think it's so interesting, like the diversity of the ideas that have been presented this morning. So diverse in one aspect, you know, mental health, and then an incentive program, but then how really interrelated they are, because the whole intent behind, based on my understanding of your presentation, is behind the intent behind the incentive plan is to obviously increase utilization of this infrastructure that we have on campus to increase wellness. And there's such a, you know, so much research out there about the interconnection between mental and emotional health and physical health. And, you know, staying engaged on the physical side can actually benefit on the emotional and mental side. So while initial or superficially diverse ideas, very integrated, and two that I feel like we could kind of weave together to see really great results at the bank, which is, I think is awesome. I'll stop there for a second and see if either Micah or Kate have any initial thoughts.
Yeah, I'll echo Courtney's comments. Well done, guys. Awesome. And what you don't know about me is I'm obsessed with incentive programs. So, you know, you kind of hit the nail on the head with this one. And I've done a lot of research on basically what calls behavioral economics, how people are motivated to take small steps to improve all kinds of things. So I really liked the concept. I like your thinking behind it. I like some of the ideas you had for the incentive prizes, if you will, and some of those things that I thought you guys did a really good job putting a solid holistic view of how something like this could be implemented. One question I have for you, and I don't want to take too much of the time, but what were your thoughts on how you get people to take that first step to engage? It's that first step, you know, I would say the first step of a journey is the hardest step to take. You have to take one step. How did you guys think about that component? Would it be a marketing effort? Would it be a campaign internally? How would you guys recommend we, you know, get started with a program as you've laid out?
Well, right, as from a Nina's prototype, right, you could communicate that through Yammer or through email and supply that out to the employees. So that would be a start to get the employees to learn about it. But then you could also go down the whole, like putting flyers up or something like that, to where the employees are just seeing it and continually thinking about it. And I think that would push them to eventually start to more work towards it. And then something like this would be a very good starting. The whole point would be for them to start off and start using these facilities more and more. So then they'd be like, well, I want that Fitbit or something like that. So then they can, and then with the Fitbit, they continue to exercise more and more after it.
That's great.
I've got a follow-up question to Micah's, as far as getting employees to take that first step to actually utilize the resource. So a little bit of a different bent from where he was going. So here's the problem. So you've got maybe a group of employees who aren't making use of the Fit Park, and in large part, maybe they're just not that into exercise, or they're intimidated by the idea of exercise because they feel like they're just so unfit. It's just hard to get that, you know, get motivated. And I don't know if y'all looked into it or at all, or not, but there's different aspects to wellness. There's physical, and we already talked mental and emotional. There's financial well-being. There's all kinds. Just pursuing one's hobbies or interest outside of work in general can help with that emotional and mental wellness as well. Any thought of other types of programs, maybe outside of traditional workout, either training or open gym kind of things, that we could maybe offer through the Fit Park and this over more holistic view of wellness to get people engaged and maybe make that be their first step to make then venturing into the physical part easier?
Yeah, I would definitely say that, at least in the beginning, definitely with the employee committee, with having different employees, you can definitely have multiple incentives going on at the same time. So if you're like, I don't like the gym, I don't want to do working out on the treadmill, you can be like, but I like this go to yoga, or I like this learn more information by going to a clinic event with Mackenzie, or like different types of incentives. So if one thing doesn't work for you, another can. Mm-hmm. And also diversifying the committee for incentives can also help, because we do know that you did say that you have 50% under a certain age, but you also do have a lot of older workers as well. And, working out and stuff may not work out for them kind of thing. And they can definitely put their input into it and be like, here's some programs or incentives that would work more for our older employees, so that they feel involved and they can fit into this as well without being left out. Like, this is just for the young kids. We don't feel comfortable doing this.
Love it. Thank you.
I have a quick question. Wonderful job, you all. I've been, just like the first group, I was very impressed with what you all put together. So while majority of our employees are located at our Wilmington headquarters, we do have a population that is remote. And one of our struggles has been to engage those remote workers, because they don't have physical access to our amazing facilities that are located in Wilmington. Did you all think about how this incentive program could reach those remote folks and how we could incorporate them into that strategy?
Well, right. So for example, they could do like mileage of logging if they go on runs or something like that, or they could, follow their own home yoga practices or something. They can log these times in and still put them in as hours of exercise and stuff like that. But then again, if they're not the whole workout kind of people, like in the last question, then we can go and more venture onto the wellness page kind of thing that you guys think is underutilized, and more create incentives for them to look at that and utilize that information as well.
Great, thank you.
Got time for one more question.
I do have one other follow-up. This is more technical, and I'm just curious to get your all's feedback. You did mention that as part of your pitch that allow 2 hours of time off of work weekly. Would you think that would be incorporated into the normal 40-hour work week, or would that be on top of an employee's normal 40-hour work week?
Well, right. Oh yeah, you could go, Nina. Yeah, I took.
I don't know. No, I was gonna say that it should probably be, at least for that specific example, probably be like more taking away from the 40-hour work week. But if it works either way, it doesn't really matter. But because it feels like employees sitting at a desk all day or like just working continuously will probably be like get tired and stuff. So our idea was to just make time in the schedule to alleviate that certain thing. Like they can go do something else during that time to kind of calm their nerves. That's outside of lunch. Get them up, moving around, walking somewhere so they can go attend the meeting, go to the gym, hang out, get them up and proactive so that when they come back in 30 minutes that they feel better and they're like, okay, that made me feel good. Now I can get my work done for today. Finish the assignment that was presented to me. Hopefully that answered your question.
It did. Thank you so much.
Is there time for one more? No?
Yes, go ahead, Courtney. Yep, absolutely.
Anita and Sawyer, you guys aren't too far or too much younger than, you know, a good portion of our population of employees now. Are there any ideas for incentives that would particularly motivate the two of you that weren't already shared in your presentation?
Well, right. I think that for working for younger people, right, you don't even have to, but the main goal, I think, with the incentives as a reward would be that we want them to continue to work back into the more health and well-being. So I think, right, a Fitbit would be cool to have. I think I would like something like that. And that would be something where then I want to use it and I want to try out my Fitbit and see how many steps I take in a day or something like that.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, great. Awesome job, Squad 2. I know we've got Squads 3 and 4 and the other room back in here. Excellent work. I'm going to invite you all to turn your cameras off and mute your microphones, and I'll ask Kevin to jump on.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. That was it. That was the pitch event we've been working towards since Monday. I just want to thank everybody for coming. If you guys want to, if you want to put your cameras on, go ahead. I think it'd be kind of cool to see everybody here, so the students can see just how many folks from around the community have taken their time today to invest in their work and to understand and hear them pitch. You guys have to remember that these students didn't know each other when they got here on Monday. They weren't in the same room. And they all came together in these teams and over 1 week tried to solve these very complicated problems. And I think we need to remember that we adults, I kept reminding the teams that we are adults and we brought them these problems because we couldn't solve them. And they did. They gave you guys solutions and how those solutions morph will be very interesting to watch, I think, for everyone. But they, you know, these are problems that could not be solved until today. And thanks to the work that these students did. I couldn't be more proud. The other thing is, this is our first cohort for the Cape Fear. This has never been done down in this region. Dan and Ann, who you'll see here, Ann and Dan, they wave. This is their baby. And Megan and I were so proud to take it down here and do our best to bring it to life here. But it was brought to life by these students. And that's what we're most proud of, because this really is their program. It's their thing to do. And I think there's a thing in the Navy they call plank owners, right? So when you're the first crew of a ship, you're the plank owner of the ship, and you get a certificate, and no one ever can take that away from you. And so for these first group of cohorts, they're the plank owners of our District C Cape Fear. So that can never be taken away from them. And I think they lived up to it and have set a very, very high standard. So with that, thank you all for coming. Particularly thank you for the business problem providers. You guys were fantastic. Not only were you available at a moment's notice and very great at providing information for the students, but also we couldn't do it without you. I hope we gave you solutions that will work. And I look forward to seeing how you implement them. And don't be afraid to contact us. We're happy to hook the students back up to help you. You know, this is something that they're passionate about as well, and seeing those solutions. So thank you guys so much for coming. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Students, stay put. We're going to talk to you for a little bit longer, but otherwise, congratulations, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone. Great work.